Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about your role as an ISSO within the risk management framework. Stay tuned.
So, a lot of people ask, what is my role in the risk management framework? What is my role in the RMF as an ISSO? So, an ISSO stands for Information System Security Officer. This is a person who is a liaison between the Chief Information Security Officer and the technical people. So, this person is almost an ambassador of cybersecurity. They usually have, when I say they, I mean organizations, usually have an ISSO per system, an ISSO per program or division, an ISSO for that organization, depending on how mature or how big or small the organization is. Sometimes uh, the ISSO works within the federal government or on the commercial side. So this is mainly about the federal government space as it pertains to working as an ISSO. So you've got the technical guys and you've got the non-technical guys. The C level falls under the non-technical for the most part, and the ISSO also falls under the non-technical. Now, don't get me wrong, you could have an ISSO who is technically inclined and someone on the C level who is technically inclined, but for the most part, they are non-technical roles. So your C level is any position that begins with chief, chief information security officer, chief information officer. Those would be the C levels. Okay. So you've got the technical guys on here, which comprise of your developers, your admins, your engineers, vulnerability analysts. So these would be the technical guys. Their job is to fix stuff. Their job is to apply the security controls, configure stuff, configure antivirus, configure firewalls, scan for vulnerabilities. So that's their role. Their role is to apply the security controls as it pertains to security. Now, these guys also do other things IT related, but their main role when it comes to security is to apply the security controls that you, as the ISSO, recommends. Now, your job is to manage the results of this implementation of security controls and then report it over to these guys. So, especially the Chief Information Security Officer and the Chief Information Officer. So, an example would be the vulnerability analyst scanning the system to see if there's any threats, if there are any gaps in security controls, if there are any weaknesses. So these guys will scan and get the reports. You get the scan reports and try to make sense of those scan reports. For example, how many of the vulnerabilities on there are critical? How many of the vulnerabilities are high, or how many of them are considered medium risk? How many of them are considered low risk? How many of those systems are externally facing? How many of those systems are internal systems? How many of those systems have the right security controls? Who do the systems belong to? So you would get those types of queries um, and report to the Chief Information Security Officer or the authorizing official. Okay, so your role is more of a manage risk role. Their role is more of the implementers, the guys who apply stuff, who configure stuff, who set up stuff. These guys are more of the decision makers. So you will provide information from the tech guys in a simple way that the chief or the C-level can understand, and they can make decisions. So you understand, it's not a technical role as an ISSO. It does relate to cybersecurity because you're managing risk. You're dealing with security controls. You, as the ISSO, do not install anything. You do not configure anything. You more or less manage risk. So you're dealing with reports, reviewing documentation, setting up meetings, facilitating stuff, answering questions, providing guidance that you get from these guys and from policy documents and from regulations. And you provide that information to these guys. So you're relaying information from these guys over to these guys what to do. You tell these guys what to do. They do it, and then you report back to these guys. So I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions about what it is to be an ISSO, please leave your comments below, and I will make sure I address all your comments. All right? Thank you. Hey, if you're interested in any of my cybersecurity videos, here is one I would recommend for you. It's the Information System Security Officer Training. This course comes with tons of videos, a CAP, which is the Certified Authorization Professional Bootcamp, comes with quizzes, comes with a certificate of completion, resume template, ebook, monthly live Q&A sessions, the ability to ask questions as well and get a response back in 48 hours. Also has interview prep and job prep. So this is a power-packed course. For more information, visit www.cyberfirstacademy.com. Thanks. Don't forget to subscribe and like. We're also on IG at CyberFirst Solutions. Thank you.